Sometimes, one unexpected moment changes everything. A sudden decision, a private concern, an emotional reaction nobody saw coming. And suddenly, questions begin, rumors spread, people wonder, what really happened behind palace walls? Was something serious unfolding? Was Princess Leonor struggling privately? Or could there be more to the story than people realize? Today, we're exploring one emotional and fascinating question. Could there have been a deeper reason behind Queen Letizia's reported palace urgency, and what might it reveal about Princess Leonor's life under pressure? Because sometimes what looks dramatic from the outside may hide something far more human underneath. Let's explore why royal stories often spark big questions. Royal families naturally attract curiosity, especially when unexpected situations appear. Sudden schedule changes, private meetings, emotional moments, unusual public appearances. People immediately begin asking questions. Why now? What happened? Is everything okay? And when it involves Princess Leonor, Spain's future queen, attention naturally grows even stronger. Because people understand one important reality. Her future carries enormous responsibility, which means concern surrounding her well-being often feels deeply emotional to royal watchers. Could pressure sometimes feel overwhelming? Here's something people rarely talk about enough. Growing up under extraordinary expectations cannot feel simple. Imagine carrying responsibility before adulthood. Public appearances, national attention, constant observation, preparation for leadership. Even adults sometimes struggle under pressure. Now imagine experiencing that while still discovering yourself. Perhaps one emotional possibility people quietly wonder about is this. Could someone in Princess Leonor's position occasionally feel overwhelmed? That question feels deeply human. Because pressure affects everyone differently. And even strong people sometimes need support. What if a palace emergency isn't what people imagine? Here's something important to remember. The word emergency often sounds dramatic. But sometimes situations feel emotional rather than dangerous. Family concerns, private conversations, protective parenting, unexpected emotional moments. What if something simply required immediate care and attention? After all, parents respond quickly when someone they love feels stressed, uncertain, or emotionally overwhelmed. Especially mothers. And perhaps Queen Letizia's protective side naturally becomes stronger when it comes to her daughters. Because behind royal titles still exists something deeply ordinary. A mother caring about her child. That reality may matter more than headlines. The possibility of quiet emotional struggles. Here's an emotional truth people often forget. Even public figures experience private moments. Uncertainty, pressure, loneliness, fear, big questions about the future. Princess Leonor may appear composed publicly, but no public image tells the full story. And perhaps growing into extraordinary responsibility occasionally creates emotionally difficult moments. That wouldn't feel shocking, it would feel human, because strength doesn't mean never struggling. Sometimes strength means continuing forward while learning how to handle pressure. And perhaps support systems become especially important during difficult periods. Queen Letizia may understand pressure more than people realize. Another reason people feel curious about moments involving Queen Letizia is this. She may understand public pressure deeply. Attention, criticism, expectations, public scrutiny. Perhaps that experience creates extra sensitivity when it comes to protecting Princess Leonor. Maybe she understands challenges outsiders rarely see. And maybe one emotional reality quietly shapes family decisions. Trying to prepare Leonor for responsibility, without letting pressure become too heavy. That balancing act alone could feel incredibly difficult. Especially for parents. Why people connect so deeply with stories like this. Sometimes royal stories stop feeling distant. They become emotional, relatable, human, because beneath headlines people recognize familiar emotions. A worried parent, a child facing pressure, family support during difficult moments. Those themes feel universal, whether someone lives inside a palace or an ordinary home. And perhaps that emotional connection explains why stories involving Princess Leonor often spark such strong reactions. People care, because people recognize humanity inside the royal story. Maybe the real story isn't drama at all. But perhaps there's another possibility worth considering. Maybe the real story isn't about crisis. Maybe it's about care, support, protection, family. Perhaps moments that appear dramatic from the outside are simply part of growing up inside extraordinary circumstances. A future queen learning to carry responsibility. Parents learning how to protect someone preparing for an enormous future. And maybe that quiet reality feels more meaningful than rumors ever could. So, was there truly a deeper story behind Queen Letizia's sudden palace urgency? The truth is, few people know what happens privately inside royal life. But perhaps one emotional truth feels harder to ignore. Even future queens may sometimes face pressure, difficult moments, and emotional challenges. And perhaps loving parents sometimes respond quickly not because of panic, but because they care deeply. Because behind crowns still exists family, love, protection, and quiet moments the public may never fully understand. What do you think? Could growing up royal sometimes feel emotionally overwhelming? Or do people misunderstand the pressure Princess Leonor may quietly carry? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more royal stories, hidden truths, and fascinating discussions.